Whew. Good morning, good morning. Welcome to another stream here on the 14th May. 14th May, it's a Thursday. It's a beautiful day today. First of all, what we're going to do is just like every morning, we check out if we have any news events. If you are new to the channel, welcome. If this is your first time trading, we still look at the news. If there's a news here, I mean, should be pretty okay day, pretty clean day. GPJPY is in a downtrend here. Daily almost came down towards 129,900. It hasn't really touched that yet. 4 hour, it seems like it's doing some sort of a retest up over here in this area. That's the 4 hour trying to do, is trying to do a retest. So try to find some sort of a resistance here because basically seems like it's ranging here. Yeah. So we have right now on GPJPY. We have two ranges. It formed a support down at 132.50. That was kind of ranging. Let's take a look at the 30 minute. 30 minutes trying to come down. Yeah, I think I'm going to be looking for sells here. But let's wait and see what happens. Let's take a look at the first chart. This is GJ 30 minute. New low created in London. Resistance is being retested low. 40 pip range. Looking for sells. Yeah, I'm looking for sells too. I'm looking for sells myself too. So probably gonna wait to see how that plays out. This range is basically 40 pips. So if we're just looking at the 30 minute, I think this could be a good trade, but it's still in the range with a 13 pip stop and let's see here, 15 pip take profit, and then all the way 30 pip take profit. Might want to wait. Yeah, I might want to wait. Probably gonna wait here. Let's take a look at this chart. This is lesson learned from the week. Sell on the close of this 30-minute candle. Resistance formed. Anticipated to break down. Got stopped out by the spread. Yeah, I think a stop was too tight. Stop was too tight. Because when you're trading like GJ or GPCAD or like a very high volatile pair like that, you need to keep stop. Like if you're gonna keep a stop above or below a candle, it has to be like a couple pips above, because normally the spread is going to take you out. So you have to be very cognizant of that. Can you explain what you're waiting for to take a sell? Yeah, see, I want to take a sell over here, but the probability isn't high enough for me to take a sell, because if I take a sell, then it needs to break this minor support over here and then come down, and then there's another minor support right there and needs to come down more. So I probably want to take a sell maybe after this 15-minute candle closes bearish, or maybe if we break below here. Maybe I might think about that, but most of all, like, I'm probably want to take a sell below 130, 230. I'm going to be most confident taking a sell below 130, 230 for it to come down all the way to 130, and then eventually, yeah, I guess 130 would be a good target. But if it starts moving bullish, then Like, buys are going to be better too, because once we cross above 136.60, then, there's a very high chance price is going to continue up towards 138.860 and then beyond to 139, like 131. So those are two things I'm looking at. So far I'm just waiting right now. We have some charts coming in from different people, so we're going to take a look at this one first. This one is 4-hour chart, target over here, buys here. Nice. Yeah, same thing I have here, 129. The 4-hour is kind of like the same too. I think 4-hour, well, 4-hour had a support here on the 6th of May around, market close, and then made a support here again um, yesterday in the New York afternoon, and then price broke it here last night. Maybe it's trying to do some sort of a retest in this area to continue down. We'll have to wait and see. But you have to be aware of the fact that if price breaks above this area, then there's a higher chance it's going to continue back in this range. Because currently price is in a bottom range, and this bottom range is this one. If it breaks up, it's going to come into this range. So I think buys would be better once we break above the previous 30-minute candle. Yeah, I think could be a pretty good buying opportunity to continue up to 138.70. Let's wait and see. Bank of England, Bailey speaks now, seems to buying bonds. I have no opinion on that. I have no idea how bonds work. I have no idea or interest in how bonds work, how those things basically work. I mean, it's just to me, what that means is I think those things. Oh, this is down, so that means US 30 should be heading down. So, like bonds and all those stuff, I think they affect price on a higher perspective. I don't think they affect price in the lower time frame. So, when big fundamental events are happening like that, it normally affects the macro arena of the market. Like your 4-hour and the daily, because like slowly it's going to get absorbed into the market, and the market is going to react to that. So when you're trading based off the 30-minute, 1 hour, 15-minute, you're just looking at what's happening currently right now. Because to me, all that is just noise. That's going to distract me from the task at hand. So just focus over here.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, coach.
Hey, good morning. Is there a place where I put a zone in? Ooh, looks like we're breaking up over here. I think this could be a very good opportunity to scalp some buys as it starts breaking above the previous 30-minute candle. Look at the 15-minute. Yeah, 15-minute looks good. If it starts breaking up, could be a great opportunity to take buys. The stop is going to be a little bit wider, around, let's see here, it's going to be around 16, 17 pips. Just needed to push up a little bit more so that we can come into the vicinity of 138.50. I think that's going to be good. Someone is saying sell GJ. Perfect. Makes sense. What's this? Let's take a look at this chart. This is GJ buy stop up here, price close above resistance. It has not broken the previous low, most recent resistance. Yep. It's kind of like the same thing I'm looking at right now. Kind of like exactly the same thing that's happening right now. So I guess you have your zone a little bit lower. I have it based on, I think this was based on the 4-hour. So even if I bring it down over here, yeah, it would make sense. Perfect. It would make perfect sense. That's good. See, this is why we have live streams, where we bounce off ideas and normally they work out. Buy above 136.90 should be good, no? Yeah, I mean, if you think above 690 should be good, that's fine. If someone thinks it's going to be above like 136.50, it should be good. I think above 650 should be pretty good. Yes, the stop is going to be big, so that's why you have to manage the trade. So now it's broken the high over here above 130, 640, and now it should continue moving bullish. That's my idea. It should continue moving towards 130, 800, 130, 850. Um, Frank, you need to post the chart in the chat box so I can see it. Very nice, GJ. Very nice. First win of the day coming up. Ooh, beautiful. Should continue up to 138.50. Where did you enter? I entered around 130, 136, 650. That's where I entered. I haven't said it. 136.50 should be good. Yeah, right now, if you enter right now, your stops are going to be way too big. Now your stop is going to be huge. So this was the right time to enter, as it was starting to break the high over here and it's starting to continue going up. Secured around 10 pips, and yeah, I think it should be good now. Let's see here. What's this? New way to chart. Yeah, it looks good. I mean, so I guess this blue candle is your breakout candle, and this is like your retest down over here. So that's good. So now you're basically waiting for like a retest to continue moving up. Gold inside a range that it's tightened equals triangle. Okay, overall bias is bullish, but have to prepare to bear scenario to require more time. Yeah, I think gold should continue moving bullish. I mean, if you look on the daily didn't really move a lot. It just moved up and down, and now it's the same price where it basically closed. So, like, gold is in this 4-hour range as well, right here. This 4-hour range, 1 hour resistance. So yeah, you'll need to see a break above, 1718 for gold to continue moving bullish towards 1723. Yeah, this move was like literally 2 minutes. Entered at 647 and exited at like 750. There's a zone I have a question about on GJ. Okay. Let's take a look. Why didn't you draw this zone yesterday? Oh, I think you need to watch the recap. I talked about this. Why I didn't draw this yesterday. Oh, Magic Keys helped me close that 10 real quick. Yeah, same here. It's pretty easy. I even increased my lot size today. Went to uh went to 15. So it should continue to, you know, 138.50. I mean, now it has to just respect 136.20 and then continue moving bullish. I got in at 655, went to BE but couldn't secure 10 price. Your opinion, how much is too much spread? I think on GJ, more than 2 pips, I think it's a pretty big spread. More than 2 pips. All right. The trend is super bearish, but since broke 4-hour high, I'm going to look for buys if price gives me opportunity. In this case scenario, doesn't give an entry. Oh, I thought you had a buy stop here. Well, but still, it's good. I think it should respect this area and then continue moving bullish. Should continue on. Good morning. First time I post a chart. Have just a question. Can you please check it? Okay, long time listener, first time poster. Would you consider this as a small zone? Yes, I would. I will consider this as a small zone inside the range. That's correct. Because if you have a big range, in that big range you will have small zones, like minor zones, you know. So if you look on the 30 minute, this 30 minute was bearish, and once this 30 minute broke the high of the previous candle, it made a minor support. So this is your minor support now, and it's moving up, broke above this resistance. Now this resistance becomes your support. You know, and now once we're in this range, you look left, and once you look left and you see that, okay, there's a clean candle right over here, this means now there's a higher probability for price to come up to 138.50, right? So that's what we were talking about when we came on the stream. Like once we break above this high, there's a high probability for price to come up over here. Is Ted here? Haven't heard anything from him yet. No, I don't know. He's probably doing his thing. Carlos, you need to send your chart in the chat. Can't really can't really see it there. Okay, yeah, I can't. Wrong chart. Looking for rejection in these two yellow lines with candle closed. Seen London give us counter trend, New York give us over bearish trend. Yeah, I mean, if you're looking for sells, that's a great idea if you're looking for sells. I think it's pretty good. See, now the 15-minute candle has closed, so we're going to take a look at the 15-minute. The 15-minute closed above 136.22, right? So you want this 15-minute candle to respect 130, let's say 13600, and then continue moving bullish. You know, so for price to continue moving up to 138.850, it needs to create a support. It needs to respect 13600. So now, like, you know, since you're in a trade, you're placing conditions on the trade that, okay, what it needs to do. When do you put your stop to BE? When price heads into like 10, 12 pips, I just put stops to break even. Raja, is your bias bearish or bullish? As could this not be start of the bullish trend? My bias in this move was bullish, because you need to understand, right? So when you're trying to look for the trade, you're trying to see that, okay, with what bias are you trying to look for the trade? So once price was in this range, once price was right over here, I was looking like, okay, well, like, if it breaks above 13600, then I'm going to be looking for buys to come up to 13850. So my condition was it needs to break above this area for me to take buys, so my bias would be bullish. But if price broke below 132.30, then I would have been said like, okay, you know what? Like then my bias is going to be bearish. So your bias depends on what you currently see in the market. When you, like people have this habit of looking at the higher time frame, saying, oh yeah, it's coming down 4 hours, so my bias is bearish. So if your bias is bearish from this perspective, then you're waiting for sells, right? Then you're waiting for sells below like this area. But if you're looking at price currently what's happening in the moment here, now you're thinking that, okay, well, logically, if price stays above 13600, based on basic logic, it means price should continue up to 13850. So then you're like, okay, well, in that case, my bias in the meantime is going to be bullish because I want to catch a bullish move. And that's what happened. Caught it at 136.47 above this high and closed at 137.50.
Very nice.
I have heard you will stop live streaming after May 17th. I don't know where these rumors are spreading. I have no idea. Britain plans to cut tariffs on imports on agriculture products from the United States. This shows acceleration of trade agreement. Ooh, wow, that's crazy. That is. I don't think if that happens, what's going to happen is that prices are going to go up in the UK if that happens, because a lot of their products are imported from the US. Hey Raja, what's your Slack? Email back if private. Oh, I think you need to message me on Instagram about this or email me because this is not the right platform to talk about these things. These are private things. Private. Um, can you look at this? Yes, let's take a look at this. The live streams will not stop actually. They will keep on going because I really enjoy live streams, so I don't want to stop them. GJ 15 minute. Price made a resistance, took a sell because candle broke the previous low. Yeah, it was a bad sell. You should have waited for a sell down over here. So see now the 15-minute candle is coming down. So this is where you start to say that, okay, maybe I want to close 50% in a loss so that price doesn't hit your stop loss. So you have to be very quick. When you're in trades, you have to be very quick. Man, I thought it's going to continue going up, but it didn't. So now it's back in the range. Once price comes back in this range, this is a no trade range. If you're looking for sells, great sells are going to be below 132.30. Would you consider that as a fake out? No, because on the 15-minute it is a fake out, but on the 30-minute it's just candle went up to create a wick, I guess, and it's starting to come down. So, either you have to wait for this to close or,
The hour we
maybe.
have, the hourly hasn't closed yet, so I'm expecting the hour close bullish outside that resistance. Let's see. It's only
Yeah,
7 minutes away.
could be just making a lower wick here to continue going up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Lucas, I think you need to send this in the chat, in the normal chat, the chart you sent. Yeah, I think I'm gonna move to the normal Zoom, the regular Zoom. Oh, was about to change Ted's name over here.
Morning.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
Ooh, waiting for support to be respected. Bullish candle to break high of the previous candle. TP1, TP2. Yeah, looks good. Same setup as always. New old US 30 is ranging. Interesting. No trade.
US 30, I caught a sell off this 30-minute candle. There was a massive rejection from the upside there. That rejection from the upside to fill that wick. That's more than enough.
This one?
I mean, yeah. That's more than enough money. It's like I'm up like 8,500 bucks. It's an easy, like just from basically catching the wick to the downside from when it rejects and just letting it move through there.
Nice.
Yeah. But it should go further down. The future market is negative, obviously, and there's a lot of negative sentiment about the pandemic. So I think that's going to shock the market a little bit more. So, but once it breaks on the once it breaks, I would say 23 110. If we can break that area, we should be good to about 22 700, 790. So yeah, right where you've got it marked, once it starts to break there, if we get a rejection again, it should be a nice drop. So it's gonna keep moving. It's just slow this morning. I mean, you're gonna get a push at around, I guess, 8 a.m. and then you'll get the push at 9:30 again, just like yesterday. 9:30 push yesterday was really good.
Yeah. Was really good.
Like a slot machine. You just put a penny in there and it just ching 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 ching. You're like, wow, that was pretty quick.
What's this? So this is await 1 hour candle close below support. Okay, you're waiting. Clean traffic. Stops above 30-minute for lower time frame. Yeah, I think in this case, since the candle is bearish, and if you see if the next candle also breaks down bearish, I think it'll be a good idea to wait for some sort of a resistance to be formed and then continue down. Because what's going to happen is once price breaks the support, it's going to start making a low, and then it's going to come up to make a resistance and then continue down to retest the low. So I think there's going to be a little bit of a waiting involved in that scenario. And looks like the 30 minutes closing below 136.20. So I think the probability for buys now is getting, I mean, zero. Would you ever go $90,000 drawdown for a big payout like Q Banks? Um, not really sure. Not really sure if I would want to do that. There are a lot of things we don't know either. Do you recommend to trade fake outs? No. No, 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 no. See, if this candle would have closed above 136.30, 640, would have been a nice retest to continue moving up. But since it's closing back in the range, there's nothing we can do. From my perspective, I see this as candle now closing back below resistance and then closing back in the range. So I would say a better sell is going to be below 132.30. Still got some time to close. Wow, candles are hilarious, when they're closing. Look at where it closed. It formed, it closed right in this area. It also closed bullish. It closed a pretty, yeah, this is going to continue moving up. I I believe it's going to continue moving up more because the 30 minutes kind of like created like a support here for the next 30 minutes to continue moving bullish. So now the idea becomes that okay, now it has to stay above the low of the previous 30 minute for it to continue moving bullish. I know some people are still in these buys. So just for you guys, I think it needs to stay above this low over here, and it needs to just go poop poop poop. Do you just trade support resistance? Well, that's a very simple way to trade. I mean, do we want to make it complicated? The thing is, you're just anticipating candles, really. I mean, if I'm anticipating a trade, I'm basically anticipating this candle to continue moving bullish, first to this wick, and then come up to this area right over here, 138.50. And for it to do that, it needs to respect the low of the previous candle, right? So what this means is now my stop is going to be below this candle, and the TP is probably going to be around 138.50. And once this candle starts moving, that's going to be the trade. So if there's any other way to take a trade, just let me know because all I see is that if I can anticipate a candle and if my trade can run with one candle, I think that's more than enough. I mean, don't you think? I mean, like if you can visualize a candle forming and if that kind of candle forms and your trade happened to be in that candle, I think that's a pretty good idea to go off of. I mean, what you can do is you can put like fibs on and trend lines on, and you can put like Bollinger Bands on, and then you can start saying price is gonna do some, dances. So, but I think if you can just anticipate candles, I mean, we have a candlestick chart here. If this is my EN buy and future EN plans, let's take a look here.
Morning, good morning.
Hey, good morning, good morning.
How are we today?
Good.
Good, man.
Oh,
Mm.
oh, Jesus. Future plan, safer buys from up over here. Close full trade. I was worried about what could happen. New traffic note. Ooh, what's going on here? Too much text going on. Yeah, I think. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, sorry, I was going to say it's quite in depth, that one, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, I think when there's a lot of text involved, I think it's really helpful to put numbering on because I don't know which one to read first. So if there was numbering on, I would have known, okay, this comes first, this comes first, this comes first. So just a little tip. So that's why when I do my analysis, when I post my analysis, I put numbering on so that it's easier for people to view. Is this a good idea to take a buy on GJ? Okay, so here's the thing. This is going to be a little bit of a risky buy because, like, if you're going for buys, if you really think it's going to go up, this is going to be in a place to enter right now because your stop is going to be low right over here. You know, the reason why it's going to be a little bit risky is because it's still under this resistance. That's why it's going to be risky. But from a stop loss perspective, you're going to have a smaller stop. For a much safer buy, it's going to be above this area right over here. 136.60, 136.70. That's going to be a very safe buy. But your stop is going to be a little bit wider, you know, or you could also place a stop below the low of the current candle if it breaks above 136.70. That's going to be a very, very safe buy because then you're going to know, okay, we've broken up, you know, and now price should continue moving up to here and here, you know. But if it stays below 136.20, then, you know, the buys are going to be short-lived. So that's a little insight there if someone's looking for buys. What pairs would you think behave like GJ? I have no idea. Um, every pair moves differently, you know. Every pair has a different personality. You look at GJ, or if you look at UJ, EJ, they're all different. I mean, GJ is like your wrestler on steroids, and EJ is like your Randy Orton, and UJ is like your Jeff Hardy, you know, smaller. GJ is like Big Show. This is my first time watching your stream. May I ask how long did you usually stream? Oh, I go for like, I'd be here for another 2 hours. So if people are new to the stream, what we basically do is this is meant to help you have better analysis, right? So the best way to do that is to send your charts, send your analysis, and you know, if I see it, we're gonna review it, and you know, that's gonna help you. So if you're looking at a trade you're in or any analysis you're thinking you want some, like, you know, different perspectives on, send it through, and it's gonna help you a lot. What's my preferred pairs to trade? GBP, JPY. Gold is ranging. Gold
Yeah,
is ranging.
gold, I'm not going to touch it unless it goes above 17, 18.
Yeah, I call this a mess right now.
Yup.
Wow, your JPY is also ranging. I think it's going to be a ranging day today after all the movement from yesterday.
We kind of had a big move in London, kind of before pre-London, and then it was kind of very rangy after that.
Oh, very choppy. Look at these wicks.
Yeah, it was nasty. It was tough to do anything, to be honest. Although that little buy move towards the end kind of happened exactly the same time as yesterday and the day before, which was nice to see. But playing it up to that top of that resistance wasn't fun. So no trades this morning.
Yeah. If your trading plan says max risk 2%, but the stop loss is pretty far away, 20 pips, but the setup is a setup you trade always, would you increase mass risk? No, I will not increase risk. If the stop loss is going to be bigger, then I might want to lower down my lot size. I was selling GJ since y'all took the buy yesterday. Ooh, yeah, I guess you won yesterday. Yeah, since the way it's moving right now, I don't think it's going to be a buy. I see the 15-minute broke the low of the previous 15-minute. So if I was in buys here, I would have closed out everything. Because, you know, once it broke the low, then there's a high chance for price to continue moving down. So you have to be very careful. What should be the minimum capital to trading 5 lots? I think 20,000, 20,000, 25,000. It's pretty good. It came up to form resistance, 30-minute close bearish. Okay, stop loss hit real quick. Oh yeah, price made a low. Yeah, so I guess you're gonna get it later on. I honestly think for a very easy sells, it's going to be below 132.30. Extremely easy sells. So there's going to be a little bit of waiting involved. Um, GJ would go down to 130 yesterday on GJ. Yes. Oh, yesterday we were looking for sells. Yesterday was all about sells. I got a buy over here. I think it was, yeah, I think it was, yeah, these buys I got. I got these buys and then got sells over here and then got sells later on. Just kept dumping yesterday. Theoretically speaking, if a 15-minute candle closes outside of a range, would you enter the trade when the 15-minute candle breaks or wait for 30-minute? I'd probably wait for the 30-minute. Yeah, I'd probably wait for the 30-minute. I was really expecting this 30 minutes. Since I got in this trade, I was expecting this to continue going bullish and closing above, so the next one can continue moving bullish. But it closed at this area, making it difficult for the next candle to continue up. Please look at my GU analysis from yesterday, okay? Let's take a look at your GU analysis. So looks like your GU analysis failed from yesterday. Price didn't do what I expected, broke down. Now looking for sell opportunities. Yeah, I think what you should do is you should now look at your analysis over here, which failed, and maybe really look at to say that, hey, how could I have seen the sells? You know, how could I have known it was the sells? Because if you don't do that, you're not going to learn from this. Obviously, your analysis failed, so now you have to look at how could you have taken the correct trade, and that's where you're going to learn. Did you close your position? Oh, I closed it a long time ago. Closed it at like 137.50. I'm quick at closing, man. I'm really quick. I don't wait around. I am quick. When I see my pip run into like 10, 11, 12 pips, I close. I'm looking to close. I'm looking to secure. I'm not waiting around for price to go to like 20 pips or 25 pips or come back at break even. Nope. I'm closing. What I've learned over the past 4 years of losing and winning and losing and winning is if I don't close when I need to close, price will always come down and hit my stop loss. Always. And that happens with most people here. I can guarantee that happens with most guys here. Like, you know, like price goes in profits, you know you should close and you don't close. And then price comes back and hits your stop loss. I mean, what's the point? So you need to close. Just close, secure profits, close, just secure the bag. You know, like people say, oh, these guys only get like 10 pips, 12 pips. Consistently getting 10, 12 pips. You know, if you consistently keep closing trades, your win rate is going to go high. You know, whenever price goes into a drawdown, I'm looking to cut those losses short ASAP. Now I don't wait around for price to hit my stop loss at my full position. I want price to hit my stop loss in a small position. You know, not like a full one. When I go in a drawdown, I'm constantly looking to close percentage of the position. All the time, constantly. Because if I keep on doing that, my losses are going to be smaller. When price goes into profit, I'm constantly looking to secure at like 10, 12 pips because that's what I've been doing for the last 4 years. So that way your win rate is going to go through the roof. It's not about catching 40 pips or 50 pips or like 60 pips every day. That's not going to happen. Every day you're not going to be able to catch a 100 pip move. No, it's never going to happen like that. But every day you can catch 10, 15 pip moves every day. I can guarantee, like, there there's almost 1 year of content on YouTube live streams, and every day you can catch 10, 12, 15 pips easily. And you just got to be willing to just secure, 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 secure. Listen, no one went broke securing trades. Even if your win rate is one to one, like if your risk reward is 1 to 1 and you're securing most of the times, your win rate is high, man. Like if you have a 70 pip win rate, 70%, 75, 80% win rate, it doesn't matter if your risk reward is 1 to 1, because in the long run you're winning most of the time.
Yeah, I don't think people understand that concept, and it's because they're chasing money. They're not chasing just the positive progress. And I really think if people would see the bigger picture, if you're showing up every day to your work and you got a job to do, you don't do the entire, when you do your job, you leave, like you're done for the day. And I think a lot of people don't understand that concept. Like they want these big magical trades. We're not at a skill level in terms of our analysis, in terms of fundamentals, in terms of market movement, in terms of data, to say, oh, today I'm going to catch 90 pips, or I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. The people that are doing that are not consistent enough to show that that's worked over the long term. There's no doubt in my mind that there are people catching large amounts of pips and all other stuff, but they're so sporadic, and this is what people don't understand. I see the same thing everyone sees on Instagram, but I see it in a different lens. And you know what? If I had a website put up, I would put all the main traders that I know on that website, and I would then make a chart. When was the last time they posted a chart that they traded? When was the last time they showed a profit? And when was the last time they showed us the entire account? It's not going to happen. People don't do that because it's not sexy. Because you know what they do? They open up another account, they load it up, and they hit the markets, and then they run. And then they blow the account or they lose money. They don't want to show that, and then they move on to the next account. And people fall for that. They literally fall for that. Like if you're hitting and running on an account, just say that. And that's the biggest thing, is transparency. And if people would just speak up and say, hey, listen, this is a brand new account. I loaded up 50,000 and I'm trying to run it up to 500,000. And I did it. I closed the account, and then I moved on. If you told me that, I'd have full respect for you, because that's your strategy, that's your plan. But the thing is, they don't want to talk about that because of the fact that people might ask questions, right? And that's the biggest thing, is if you're going to do something, just be transparent about it. It's your money. I mean, if people are going to load up $100,000 account and gamble and take a big trade and win, perfect. I will never laugh at somebody who makes money that makes money. That doesn't bother me. You're supposed to make money in this market by any means possible, but don't make an illusion to think that, hey, this is what I've been working on for the last 2 months and now it's come to fruition. It's not. You found an opportunity, you loaded an account, you ran it up, and now you closed it, or you blew some money, you don't want to show it anymore, and you're on to the next thing. And it's just really straightforward in terms of that, and just be transparent. Can you show your account? Yeah, I mean, I can show anything I want. I show it every day.
This is a good trade over here. Perfect confirmation. Candle broke below. You took the sell. Worked out. Perfect. 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 Ooh, price creating resistance. If it goes to support, test it, then goes up. If it breaks resistance, conclusion, wait. If I see 15-minute candles are going bearish and the candle crossed the last lower low, is it viable to take sells? Um, yeah, so if you're waiting for the 15, so let's say we don't look at the 15-minute, right? Let's say we look at the 30-minute. If this 30-minute starts closing bearish, then there's a high chance it's going to continue moving down. It might wick up and then continue moving down to this area, this wick over here, and then to continue down to 130, 300. But it's still going to be in a range. Someone's going to take the trade, and they're going to win the trade. But for me personally, I would want to wait till it breaks below 130, 230. So at this point, now the bias has changed. Before the bias was bias, the candle broke up, starting to go up. We're like, okay, it's going to go up. But now the bias has changed. So now you need to be fluid. Yesterday, someone sent me a chart. They're like, hey, man, I'm still holding my buys when price fell like 50 pips. And I'm like, why? You have to be fluid with changing your bias based on the candles. Now the candles are closing below 136.20, and it just makes sense for price to continue moving down. For me, I'm looking for sells below 132.30, so I'm going to wait for that. Oh, someone in sells in GJ. Interesting. USD.
Yeah, so if you took the US 30 sells, you should be deep in profit at this point on the hourly candle. So there should be no reason why you lose today's trade on US 30 based on the wick fills of the 30-minute candles and things of that nature. Why is gold moving stupid this morning? Because it broke out yesterday. So usually it doesn't break out 2 days in a row. Yeah, at this point with US 30, we should have a clean move to 102, 23, 102. So should be a nice move, yeah. US 30 is my new gold. The spreads are tighter and the moves are a lot cleaner.
It doesn't look so messy.
No, it's not. I mean, and once you're in and you've got a good position, you can hold this thing for days. It's awesome.
I've seen some people with some good, and well, so you can say that with good results and stuff. You can see what they've planned out. It looked pretty good, to be honest.
The idea behind US 30, what I'm looking for is I'm always looking for massive rejections from the upside here, as an example. And then as long as this level didn't break, we were going down, probably fill this level here. The futures market is also negative right now. There's a lot of headlines supporting the stock market dropping more today. So that's also influencing as well. So at this point, you should probably be securing profit over here and just letting this run. And once it taps over here, it may reject a bit, but you might be safe to continue moving through. But I've been watching the pre-market data, so it should be pretty straightforward to drop further. I expect us to hit this easy, 23,100, and then once this breaks, we're on a free fall into 22.
Beautiful. My days are they're coming closer to start trading US 30. Just watching it for now.
Yeah, I think as we start to get more problems in the market, I think if we break into 22,000, we're going to head right down to 18,000. So just for your own sake, if you're going to start trading US 30, 18,000 will be a pretty good target long term. So there's going to be lots of opportunity to make money as the market drops. We're at a massive support right at, I would say 22,900. And once we break that, it's a free fall.
Okay, waiting for a break above or below. 30-minute GJ. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, if you're looking for sells on GJ, this will be pretty good once this candle closes bearish. I would say a better selling opportunity is going to be below 130, 230 on GJ. So that's what I'm going to wait for. Ooh, GN. Wait, break of zone, waiting for retest for buys. Yeah, it looks good. This actually looks pretty good. GN there. Let's bring it up over here, GBP NZD. Yeah, I think it looks pretty good. 1 hour has broken above, and you can expect this 1 hour to continue moving bullish. 4 hours also bullish. It's basically, I think it's breaking into this top range here too. Daily is also bullish, so yeah, makes sense. I mean, on the 15-minute, if price starts breaking up, then I think it's going to be a better opportunity for price to continue moving bullish. And your stop could be below this wick right over here, below the 30-minute wick. Do you have a guess for Friday? No, no guess for Fridays. What lot size do you recommend for $100? I think 0.01, 0.02 is going to be pretty good. Waiting for the retest of the zone, then buy. Yes, that's true. That's good because price is moving bullish. Whenever price moves bullish, it's creating a high and then comes down to create a low and then starts to go up. Why do traders act like they're too good for EU? Oh, I don't trade EU. How long would you start trading? Around like 4 years? How do you determine your lot size? Based on how much I want to risk. Could you please check AUD and ZD? Yes, you need to send a chart. Could you check this, please? I manage my risk. Okay, let's take a look here. Still got 3 minutes left for the price to for the candles to close here. 3 minutes left. All right, GJ, resistance, 15-minute broke above previous high, 30-minute close above resistance. Okay, took this trade but got stopped out. Could you explain your view on this? Yeah, 15-minute was a very weak confirmation, you know, so you should have been careful on that 15-minute. Which one was this? Right here, 545. So, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think there was, the probability wasn't there. It was a good trade. I think if your stop would have been below this candle, you still would have been okay. It is what it is, you know, because this candle closed above and you expected the next one to continue moving bullish, but it didn't. It came down. So, I mean, there's only so much you can do about that. Hi, Raja. Do you clean the chart every day? Yes. Yes. Clean the chart every day. Where's my cleaner? I have a spray over here. I put the spray on the screen. And then we mark up the charts. So 30-minute closing week bearish again on GJ. Yes, that is true. That is true. So there's no sells yet, right? There's no sells yet because the 15-minute candle is closing bullish. There's no buys yet because we're below 136.20. So there's no trade on GJ yet. Nothing. Nothing on GJ so far. And I guess the bias on US 30 is bearish. GP and ZD, nothing so far. Yeah, a lot of waiting here. So since you come to stream every day, you're gonna realize sometimes, you get the trade first thing in the morning, and then sometimes, there's a lot of waiting involved. Yeah, markets are pretty boring today.
Expecting Dow Jones to continue moving as Ted was saying earlier.
Yeah, it looks like it's heading bearish.
Yeah.
Do you ever burn a trading account? Yes. Um, don't you see buys on 15 minute? No, it has to break above 136.20. Would this have been a good analysis? Let's take a look. Candle above wicks by chance of continuing. Yes, you need to wait for a support form to continue going up. Ooh, fake out, supply zone, continue up. Yeah, I think you need the price to break above this area here and then continue going up since you have clean candle here to the left. So that'll be a pretty good idea. Oh, see now it has closed bearish. If someone's looking for sells, you're in a pretty good position to take sells, but it's still in the range. My recommendation for myself is Raja, you need to wait until price comes to 132.30. So when price comes to 132.30, starts breaking down, that's when Raja Bank starts entering sells.
Yeah, so it looks like we're approaching a nice take profit point or more position to secure with US 30 or DGI USD, depending on where you trade.
Yeah. I'm about to secure 50% on 20 points right now.
I moved my stop down to what is it here? 23 170 or 23 183.
Okay.
So then, so I've secured basically at this point 17,000.
Nice. Very nice.
Yeah. So it's just gonna move nice.
Yeah, good play, man. Good play.
Well, the thing is too, we should get a push at 8 a.m. too. When the currency market opens. I'm wary sometimes of that 8 a.m. push because it does do a bit of a pullback. But if we keep moving, I think this will be the move for the rest of the day. My only challenge will be when the new candle, once we come to the support, we're coming to that support around 23,100. How we're going to react there. If we get a nice clean break, our next target should be, I guess, 22,900, and then basically down to 22,800. Those should be the targets if we break 23,100.
Yeah. The way it's moving, I'm expecting to break that 23,100, to be honest.
Yeah. Oh, what is this? USD CAD. It's a pretty good, nicely labeled chart. Original move, I wanted but missed. Called that in my video. Okay, entry would have been over here. Took my first trade when the 30-minute broke the low of the previous 30-minute candle. FOMO was involved and risked more than I should have, but not managed was good. Took my second trade over here. Could have taken profits. Easy got greedy. Yeah, I think this sell right here was a bad sell because you should have waited for price to create some sort of a, come up, wait for a resistance forming and then continue down. Also because this candle closed with no wick at the bottom. So, I mean, if you've watched the webinars, I mean, you know what we talk about candles with no wicks. So, simple mistakes. GJ supply zone. Yeah, I think you need to make this a little bit more narrower. You need to make this a little bit narrow based on the smaller time frames, because with this you only see arrows, and with this you don't know where you're going to enter, where your stop's going to be, where your take profit's going to be. I mean, you can maybe ballpark your take profit, but those entry and putting stops are the most important things. So you wouldn't know where to put those. Maybe dumb question, but back in the day, you guys used to use trend lines. Why don't you use it no more? Um, yeah, I think the reason why I don't use them anymore is because I just I just don't use them. I think that's extra analysis, because if I were to put a trend line, let's say right over here, right? This is how trend lines work. So if I were to put a trend line like this, and someone could say, okay, once price breaks this trend line, they will take a sell for price to continue moving down. So then I can turn around and say, well, there's the support over here, there's another support over here, there's another support over here. So now this trade is going to become a little bit more risky, because, as price starts to come down, there's going to be a lot of supports here in the way, and price might react to those supports. But if I want to take a very, very confident sell, I'd probably going to wait for price to break below 130, 230, and then have an easier time heading down. Because when you look left, you have this clean candle here. Look at this clean wick coming down, so price will have a much easier time coming down. So you really have to choose your battle. My battle would be selling below 130, 230. If you're first time here, if this is your first time on the live stream and you want your charts to be analyzed, I think you need to watch the introduction video. It's in the description. You watch the introduction video and that will give you a lot more information. All right, your USD. Nice trade. Beautiful. Raja, what would you have felt would have been a good entry on US30? I think a great entry on US30 would have been once this 30-minute candle was breaking the low of the previous 30-minute candle. I think that would have been a pretty nice entry, but I haven't traded this enough.
Yeah, so your entry on US 30 would have been right over here, or right here. If you notice, a lot of times on US 30, on these 15-minute candles, there's a lot of fake out movements, and that's where you'll see, if you go on 15-minute, you'll see those random spikes. Those are usually fake outs.
So what would your confirmation be if you were to take an entry right over here?
Go back to the 15. This is a fake out right here. I've seen this like about 1,000 times.
Yeah. Okay.
It does that randomly. I was watching this candle here, and I was saying, as long as this wick didn't break above this candle here, there's your entry. Because this candle, so what you do is do this.
Oh, it's like a booby trap candle.
That's right.
Oh.
It happens so often. It happens so often in trend, and that's just because this candle here is usually one of the last 15-minute candles for the for I guess market open, or sorry, for the hour open. So yeah, so be aware of these type of candles on US 30. They do fake out a lot, especially when we're in trend. And on the higher time frames, we were having that, we were still bearish. So this was more just a minor pullback. It also related to the fact that the futures market went up just a bit, and then now we're starting to drop again. So over here, as an example, this candle here probably is going to sort of fish around, and then the next hour candle, you'll find that the drop will complete if this doesn't complete here. But what I'd be watching for is I'd be watching to see where this wick forms, and then the next hour, I would expect that wick to be in this area again here, almost matching this area here. That's the problem with trading this indice, with trading US 30 or DJI USD, is these wicks here are very violent. So you don't want to trade within this area here. You want to wait for this break over here now, so that you will let it continue to run, obviously doing wick fills over to here. Trying to get an entry in this candle right now, this can wick all the way up, but the problem is the lots, or the movement of each point is essentially you know, I would say, you know, 10 pips, right? Or you know, 1 pip, sorry, 1 pip. So you're moving, if you open up a single lot, every time it moves half a point, you're moving up $1, right? So if it moves up 10 points, that's $10 right away gone, and it can wipe you out rather quickly. So just be aware of that, and keep your eye on futures data. As the futures data gets worse, so will this drop will continue to increase. And if you really want to hit this properly, 930 is where you want to be, because that's when the equity
9:30.
market opens, and that's where you'll get that movement there if the futures market is negative. But the thing is, at 930, that market, the movement is very violent, because everybody is digesting the market open. So you might get a whipsaw and then a pull back again. So if you watch this around, I would say 915, 925, around there, you get a lot of good movement. But if you're in at this point over here, then technically speaking, we should be good for a while, unless we don't break this area here. If we don't break this, expect us to bounce up, because this is a very, very heavy support.
Yeah. 930 is interesting, because
Yeah,
930
9:30.
you're gonna have some whipsaw. The first five minutes you're gonna be scared as shit.
Yeah, it's very, very violent. And if you have to, you can wait till probably a half hour afterwards and catch the same moves again.
Yeah. Yesterday was a very predictable move, to be honest. And I was expecting a pullback, but the pullback was so deep, I didn't want to risk anything else to continue going downtown.
Yeah. So I mean, like I said, if you're looking to trade this, I wouldn't suggest anybody trading this until you actually really understand price action, and you actually understand how the market moves in general before you get involved with trading an indice, because there's a lot that you have to understand, and at the same time too, your risk management has to be on point, because this can blow your account rather quickly. So see, this now has created this wick that should drive us into this area here now, because these rejections here are things that I look at, and they're very prominent. When you have rejections like this, that rejection gives it a lot of fuel to push abnormal amounts for some reason. I don't know why, but when you get a rejection, it's a legitimate rejection. Yeah, 10 pip scalps with US 30 are very, very easy. Like right now, I'm like, I'm about, I would consider, if I was trading currency, I'm basically 50 pips deep on my position.
Ooh, it came down to right that level.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
30. I'm closing another 50%, and I'm just gonna let this. we may have a reaction right there. Because the 15 minutes about to close, and next 15 minutes should make a pullback.
Yeah.
And then with a new hour, then you're gonna have another move. Basically, it's digesting candle by candle. It's move by move.
Yeah, and you're really working on smaller time frames to get good entries, and then just watching the higher time frames where the major support areas are.
Exactly.
And I mean, technically, I would say, I mean, for lack of better terms, a safe haven, because that means that the U.S. dollar's weakening, so it'll move in parallel, say with UJ sometimes, or people are saying, oh, it's the same as GJ. Well, yeah, because I mean, essentially, the base currency, which is the U.S. dollar, is weakening, and if the base currency of the pound is weakening, yeah, they do move the same direction. I mean, they're not correlated, but I mean, it would make the sense that they move in the same direction.
That was a nice breakdown on US 30.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like I said, it's very finicky. Like that's why if you notice, like I've only been trading like 25 lot, 50 lot. Like I won't move further up into that because the drawdowns are nasty. You can like with a 50 lot, I can get into a 15K drawdown within seconds, and then it's like, okay, now you're thinking, okay, where are we moving to for rejection when we're moving in the same, like when we're moving in trend, where are we rejecting to if I have an early entry, and then I'm watching multiple time frames at that same time to make sure that the structure still makes sense. And so far I've been lucky in terms of the whipsaws. I've survived, and then I've basically exited once I realized that we're there, or as soon as we get into profit, I secure profits right away.
Yeah, that's key. Once prices start moving, stop loss must be at break even at least.
Yeah, you have to move for break even right away. You can't afford to play with this pair. I would advise nobody to go into drawdown with this, because here's the thing: with an indice, you're fighting multiple factors. So with an indice, you're fighting the stock market, which is obviously equities and whatever. You're also fighting the bond market. You're also fighting Donald Trump. You're fighting the Fed, and you're fighting any unannounced news that comes out. And anything positive related to the US dollar can wipe you out within seconds, because you have to understand something. The stock market is a centralized market. So when it moves, it's going to move 10 times harder than a decentralized market. And the spikes with the way that this currency or this indice moves in terms of the value of the, I guess, quote unquote pip, if you want to call it, will wipe your account out very, very fast. So don't get caught up in the fact that, hey, I'm in a drawdown, I can hold this drawdown. I would advise against it at all costs. I wouldn't be putting myself into that situation.
Yeah, that's the problem.
So don't be a cowboy with this pair. Sometimes maybe you only get a little bit, but like don't get into and when it hits key levels, really make sure that you respect that when it hits key levels. Don't once again get overzealous in terms of, hey, I can hold this longer, I can do this, because like you can see right now, we bounced off that support.
Mm-hmm.
It rejected it right away hard. So you have to understand these things, and you have to really make sure that you're comfortable with those types of rejections, because now, as an example, this candle here can reject back up to this wick, but then the next candle can bounce and reject again, bounce, reject again, bounce, reject again, and then finally there's going to be a candle that's going to break that. So you can get caught in whipsaws here all day. And the problem with those whipsaws is this candle now, if you decide to enter here because you were hoping for that break, you've basically hit your risk parameter right away. It's such a hard move back up. So you have to be very, very conscious of that. And when you have a heavy support with an indice, you have to respect that, because you have to understand something too. When you're looking at an indice, and this, this is what we're looking at right now. This is the actual stock market. So you're taking percentages off the stock market. So what we're doing is we're essentially betting against the market, saying that the entire market, or for in this case, the top 30 capitalized companies are going to be losing percentage gains today. So the stock market's going to have a losing day overall. So you have to be very conscious of that. And for the market to have a huge loss, you have to then understand that that's when the indice will move. Because sometimes, having a, right now we're 100 points deep on the indice. So the futures market is at 23,063 points. That's only 0.5%. And remember, circuit breakers get hit at 5%. So you're not going to have these massive, moves every day. But more importantly, when you have moves, they're gonna constantly be pulling back into the ranges, and they're going to constantly be resetting, because overall you could have a 250 pip move or a 300 pip move with the indice, but in a half hour it can pull all the way back up again, because the market isn't going to just keep tanking 5, 6, 7, 8, 9%. It'll tank 2%, and then it'll rifle back up 4%, and then go back down 2% again. So it becomes a very, very big roller coaster, because the overall market can't go down to 5 or 10%, because when it does that, you hit a circuit breaker and the market shuts down for 15 minutes, etc. Right? So you have to be very conscious of that and make sure that you are not holding those trades, because at a certain point, like a major support or a major resistance, we're going to bounce off that, just because the market has reached a low or a high that people are going to start putting more money back into or taking money out of again, right? If you understand that, like the age-old saying of buy low, sell high. That's what's happening in the stock market. So that's what you're playing with when you're playing with the indice. Is if the Dow drops, people are going to be loading money into it, because that's a good time to buy. That'll prop the Dow back up. That'll wipe out your trade for the indice, trying to sell the indice. So you have to be aware of that as well.
GJ candle came to form resistance. 30-minute close bearish. Mr. Has took a sell over here to continue down. Looks good. Looks good. I'd still want price to break below 130, for me to take sells. I'm gonna wait for that area to break, because if price breaks below 130, then it's going to be, for me it's going to mean that, okay, now I have a much higher percentage of winning. So I'm going to wait for that. GN basically came back under resistance. So yeah, so now this would be a fake out. So if someone trying to trade this fake out, you'd want to see price make a resistance here, like a retest here, to continue moving down. So let's take a look here. GJ, entry, candle close. Wait, hold on. Price created over here. Previous high, strong breakout, previous low. Fib sell zone in line with previous support for potential breakout, retest continuation to move. Confirm resistance, now waiting for entry at candle close. Would you use lower risk? I wouldn't even take a trade over here. I'd wait for price to break below 132.30. I think I've said that like 8, 9, 10 times. GP CAD. Resistance being formed. Looking to take sell in the next 30-minute close. That looks good. The idea looks solid. Let's take a look here. GP CAD. Ooh, yeah, I don't think it looks solid. The 1 hour is basically, it's about to close. 1 hour is closing above support. So there's no sells. Yeah, sorry mate. I don't know. It's closing above support. Stay in it. Need to wait for that to close below. Seems like it's GP is in a lot of mess over here. I mean, I think good buys are going to be above this level, 1.7200, because then you have a clean candle here. So I think that'll be great buys to take above this area into this 30 pip zone, or a break below 1.71870. Yeah, pretty slow day, nothing to do. I mean, I had a one buy over here going up, and that was about it. Do you think sell at break 130, 230 to continue to will be a good idea? Yeah, sure. Sure. I'm gonna look for sells below 130, 230. Sells below 130, 230 or buys above 130, 630 again. Other than that, I'm just sitting back on my chair and with my leg on my other leg and just chilling.
Yeah, I just closed my US 30 trade, DJI trade.
Yeah, me too. I'm not expecting for the next hour to open to pull back.
Yeah, there's going to be a bit of a push up, and that's okay.
Yeah.
That was my trade for the day.
Yeah, man, you called it. Came right down to your cross.
I called it. I called it. I know what I'm
And
doing.
that's the problem.
Thank
The last
God.
15 minutes, the last 15 minutes of the 1 hour candle, it's always make a pullback. Then the next hour opening is gonna make another pullback to a range.
It's funny because with US 30, you can really look at it and be like, man, like I'm looking at that 30-minute candle right now, or that 15-minute candle, and you can start to see like, wow, if that wick forms, that's going to be a massive drop. Because all that exhaustion from the upside has to go somewhere. And you want to grab that too, because I mean, if that breaks that support, you're off to the races, and you basically have a new level. But then, I mean, that's just greed that comes in, right? And you just sit there and you're just like, oh wow, like I could grab more, but I mean, how much more do I need? Figures there it goes.
But I'm expecting another pullback toward 23, 155 to 58. And then around 930 is gonna be a nice move, hopefully. I don't trust this 15 minute, to be honest.
Yeah, it's gonna do. I want to see how the next hour opens. That'll be the key. Obviously, this is just filling that zone. So it's just filling that bottom wick to the left there. So it'll probably fill that completely, but then the next hour may pull all the way back up again, just because we're at that heavy support.
Wow, what a move!
Yep. But you see the rejection on that wick? It basically came up to the previous wick on this current candle. We basically came up to that zone once again to tap that and then pulled. But because now we have such a massive rejection, and this is the thing that I look for, and this is something that I did yesterday, is this massive rejection here. Imagine that on an hour candle. This move becomes deadly then at that point, because essentially you have all this power here that drives this candle down here. And on an hour candle, an indice, it just goes absolutely Looney Tunes. So you know, you look at stuff like that. It's very scary when you get that massive rejection on an hour or a 4 hour candle. If you're watching the higher time frames on an indice and you get like a massive rejection like this, oh, you better believe that this is going all the way down. Like it will rock hard. So when you watch that, you have to be careful. You can't jump into your 5-minute candles watching this 15-minute rejection, because if you go into 5-minute candles, you'll lose your stomach. Because the 5-minute candles will burst up very fast, but then the next 5-minute candle will rock right back down.
That wick is about 30 pips.
Yeah. Like this is what I mean. This is 30 pips. So think about an average trade. So if you were trading, say, if you had a 10 pip stop loss, you would have been stopped out like 3 times before this actually dropped. That's the problem. So you know, if you have $1,000 account, and you know that's $30 gone right away in like 1 minute.
I'm gonna continue backtesting Dow Jones for a while, and hopefully we may have a webinar based on US 30, how to trade US 30. Maybe you can help out with that, Ted.
Uh-huh. Well, I'm doing a webinar on US 30.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I guess I
Yeah. Gonna continue backtesting.
Yeah, I can do that.
And the worst thing you can do with US 30 is over leverage.
Oh yeah.
It's a pain.
The other things that I found out too with like with indices, the usually the last like 10 minutes of the candles, you sometimes you get a lot of big moves. The last 10 minutes of the hour, you get a lot of nice moves. So keep that in mind. The other thing is too, the first hour usually there's a massive pullback. It's scary how fast it'll pull back. So never worry about missing an entry, because you'll always get another one.
All right, so GJ, the candles have been closing, the 1 hour candles have been closing weak bearish candles. The 30-minute candle has closed bullish over here. I think I'm going to be looking for buys once it breaks above 136.70 again. It kind of perked my attention. Looks like it's continuing down with the NY Open. Could you analyze? Ooh, wow. Damn. Alright, let's take a look at this chart. Support resistance sell below this area looks good. Buy stop above this area. Clean traffic to the left looks good. Perfect. A lot of waiting involved. This is GJ. Should you place a buy if the candle ends bullish and higher than the previous candle? Yeah, I think once price starts breaking above 136.50, 660, I think that's going to be another opportunity to take a buy for price to continue up towards, 138.50. So that's something I might be looking into again. My first ever trade was US 30, wiped my account. Very humbling lesson. Yes, that that's what happens usually.
So now if you look at US 30, you see how fast it moved back up? It kills your account very fast. Go up, my pretty.
You sound like a cartoon character there. It's like,
Yes.
"Whoa."
Oh,
Yeah, it just moves up like 20 pips in like 1 second and just knocks you right out if you were in trying
Yep.
to take sells.
yeah, the 1 hour candles over here, man. They've been rejecting this area. They've been closing above these candles here. So want to see a solid confirmation to continue to go up. Could you trade those whipsaws, or is that risky? I think that's very risky. No one should be looking to trade those whipsaws. Ooh, looks like UJ did a retest to continue moving bullish. Um, Lower time frame potential fake outs where we took buys. Lower time frame potential fake outs where we took buys to same time 2 days. Same time in 30 minutes. 1 hour from now, maybe heavy further drop. Will it happen again? I think there's a grammatical error. Should be a question mark over here.
Come on now. It's
Will
just
it?
something we were it's just something we were talking about this morning because the drops are happening at exactly the same time, and it's kind of on the lower time frames because we took the buys yesterday, right, which were really good, which created a kind of a high point, which was like you could call it a fake out on lower time frame when you look at it, and then we start to get the further push down, and then from that you get a very solid drop. So
Yeah.
but I mean the difference is this time we've got the wicks on the hour, but we're struggling to break that level. So
Yeah, I think it's weekly is too low.
I'm just wondering, that's what we said this morning. Do you think that now, is that the potential now that's going to end up being the weekly low?
I don't know. See, here's the thing. It might pull up to create a wick and then drive down on Friday, or it might drive down today to pull up on Friday.
Yeah, we were saying this morning maybe that this is the creation of the lowest point of the week, so you've got to be careful, haven't you? So you're not sure yet.
Yeah, because yesterday it filled the wick on the weekly, and then during London and Asian it just drove down a little bit harder.
Yep.
Just depends on how these candles react.
Yeah, for sure.
Thoughts on gold? Ranging. Support. Got resistance. What's this range? There's 23 pips down to support. Yes, it's pretty difficult to trade. Gold is very difficult to trade, at least for me now. Views are going up every week. Yeah, on NFPs we get a lot of views. NFPs we get like 2,400 people, 2,500 people. Ooh, US 30 is still running.
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
Yeah, I guess like with the amount of payout that comes with US 30, it's really easy to get FOMO.
Yeah. Sit there and be like, man, I could have made like a gajillion dollars today.
So where does that go next, though? Is there a lot more further downside from that then, or is it just that big wick to the left you've seen?
Yeah, we're gonna have massive downside. I expect 22,900. We're coming right back into those bigger wicks there. So 22,900, we should fill that whole area today, more than likely.
Wow. Is it the type of thing that you reckon it'll give you another chance, or is that kind of the chance gone?
I already did one massive trade this morning.
Oh, okay. I mean
technically speaking, yeah. I mean, technically speaking, you could. Let's put it this way: you could play with this pair the entire day.
Okay.
There's an example. Like we were just talking. Obviously, you have pushes at 6 a.m., 6:30. You can get in there. You get new pushes at 8 a.m.
Yeah.
Get pushes at 9:30. Get pushes at 12 p.m. like at lunchtime. You get pushes at 3 p.m. Eastern. Pushes towards the end of the day, just because it's working off the stock market volume. So there's a very good chance that you can just have this thing just you can play it all the time. But I mean, once again, like you just. Do you want to get stuck in trades at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon?
Well,
I mean,
like you said, it's greed, isn't it? At that point,
yeah, it is. I mean, like at this point, this candle is going to go all the way down to 23,000. So from there, that's basically 100 pips. So I could have cleared like another 50K or whatever if I wanted to. But I mean, it's like I don't know.
It's sensible to an extent though, because like you said, you mark your point A to point B.
I don't know. I just do I want to deal with the angst of being in US 30 when I just cleared my US 30 trade? Like that's what that's I think that's the biggest thing that I wrestle with as a trader is I see opportunities but I've already made money.
Yep.
Do I need to make more money? I don't need to make more money because I'm not guaranteed. Well, like what I'm guaranteed with, what I'm guaranteed is what I've closed, right?
Yeah.
So now I'm wrestling with the thought of putting that money up when I don't really need to trade anymore, just because I see an opportunity.
Yeah, that's right.
Right? It's sort of like when is enough enough? Similar to like if I play poker, right? If I play poker and I win at the game, and then I leave the poker room and go have dinner or whatever I'm doing, like I'm at the casino or whatnot. Should I really go back and sit down and play some more? Like why am I compelled to go play more? Right? So then it's like, okay, I don't need to. Like I'm gonna watch US 30 now or whatever, and I'm gonna watch it dip all the way down, and I'm just gonna watch essentially money just evaporate.
Yeah,
like, you know,
yeah, that's it. Yeah.
it's just you have to understand, like, I mean, my sanity is worth more than the dollar, and I already did what I needed to do today. And technically speaking, following my own rules, if I wanted this area here, then I should have. I had my stop loss over here. I should have let this continue, but I said that this was my hard stop area, right?
Yeah,
so I can't now turn around and be like, oh man, I wish I would have held
it.
because it's going down. It makes no sense, right? This was my stop because at this point we saw this candle here do that. So, you know, we had that. So that's, you know, something that you wrestle with. And I think people that have smaller accounts probably wrestle with it more. But tomorrow's another day. I mean, tomorrow's Friday. I mean, if you have a positive trade every day, I mean, it's not a big deal.
No. Would you not consider maybe closing a percentage, leaving a bit to go? Maybe
I thought, you know what? I legitimately thought about that when I was listening to Kerwin speak.
Yeah, I was thinking, mate, but just looking from what I can see,
it's just not in my nature.
No, yeah. Well,
I either close everything or I don't close. Like what I should have done is my stop loss, I should have just moved it over to here, technically.
Yeah,
just moved it down, locked in more position, because technically speaking, I was up, where was it, 218? So my entry was like over here, like 218 basically.
Yeah, it's fine.
So this would have been locked in, and then, you know, this could have done whatever it did.
Like we spoke about before, about are you going to be comfy at that level to, well, not lose that much, but give that back, you know, to that level. And it's like, you know, if you're happy from point A to B and it's enough and it's a successful trade, then you're done, right? So, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, it's just
still good to see the analysis still, because it's still going to go and reach where you're looking.
Well, this is the thing too, and I think a lot of people they discount this, is the fact that we can call this trade and I haven't taken it gives me more confidence the next time to see the exact same thing happen. So now, progression wise, I see that, okay, I took a trade early in the morning. This was the second, like maybe, you know, a handful of times I've taken a trade up here, and it's like now that I start to see this happen more often, then I know that, okay, I don't have to worry too much about this area here. I just have to make sure that I'm managing my stops, and now I can start extending my trades because I start to see this happen more often.
Yeah.
And it's just now I'm paper trading this in my head, going, okay, I could have held a little bit longer. What would have been my next target? And we have the next target at like 23,000, which is a round number at that point.
Yeah. Sensible.
Oof, look at that gold rejection. GJ is stuck in the range. Yes. See, GJ is pretty ugly here. Very hard to trade. I think it's going to be a no trade day here for me. Just took one trade. How do you feel with the no trade day? Nothing. You can see me. You can see me. I'm just sitting back on my chair. I was just scrolling through Instagram. I don't feel nothing. Are you keeping positions during the weekend? No. I never hold over the weekend. What I'm waiting for GJs to come down to 130, 230 so that I can prepare to take sells. That's it. Can you recommend a podcast? Trader. It's called Chat with Traders, episode 82. Chat with Traders, episode 82. Do you trade VIX 75? Nope. I don't trade VIX 75. I trade the pound against the yen, GBP JPY. GP New Zealand 4-hour price over here from support, looking for a fake out to sell at this point. Major trend line, 4-hour consolidation, very choppy. Yeah, it looks good. Looks good. I think it needs to get out of this mess. Why episode 82 specifically? You have to go listen to it.
Why do people, this is the, if you want to tilt somebody when they give you an answer, ask them why.
Yeah.
People do that to me all the time. I give them an answer and they're like, so why? I'm like,
it's so annoying, like
It
I'm
is.
like, I gave you an answer, just go do it,
I argued with a guy for 20 minutes about that. He's like, so what should I do? I'm like, go to the Wix Don't Lie channel and watch the videos. Which ones? Doesn't matter. Just go watch the video.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I mean, someone asked me what, yeah, go ahead.
As soon as someone tells me that, as soon as someone says what video or they ask for more information, right away I know you will fail as a trader. Because what you're doing is you're trying to find a shortcut instead of just being like, okay, I guess I have to watch everything. I'll go back and do it. Or, like the podcast is like, I should just go listen to it. I shouldn't ask why that one. Like if someone who I look up to or who I'm asking the question gives me the answer, I shouldn't question the answer. I should just go do it. Right? Like, I mean, it's just.
So why did you ask in the first place?
Yeah, like it's just why ask? Like it's just so stupid. And then they argue with you and they're like, you're mean. Why are you so mean to me? I'm like, well, I'm not, because I gave you the simplest answer, the most succinct answer, and the answer that will give you a lot of information to your question. And then you question why I'm giving you that answer. It's like, don't do that to people. Just be gracious enough that they gave you the answer and understand if you ask that person and they're being legitimate with you, they've given you the best answer they could. They haven't screwed you around. And I think if you do that, you'll be fine.
No, next time I'm just gonna say, okay, don't. Why? Okay, never mind, don't do it. Yeah.
You guys need to be more patient. No, we don't have to be more patient. You just have to listen. When I give you an answer, it's the best possible answer that I'm giving you. There's no sugarcoating. I haven't held anything back. I haven't said tune into next week's episode. I haven't left a cliffhanger. I've given you a complete answer. You say thank you and you move on. You don't ask questions about my answer because my answer is my answer. There's no fluff behind it. Maybe in your past lives or your friends or your parents or other people have given you cheap answers, or they've told you to buy something, or they've told you, hey, I'm not going to give you the full answer until you give me $20. I don't work that way. I have no time to waste to lead you on to turn this into a mini series where you have to tune in next Friday to get the full complete answer. That doesn't happen. I give you the full answer. That's the answer. There's nothing more to it. That's it. It's done. That's the answer. I don't need your $20. I don't care about your money. I don't care about leaving you on a cliffhanger. I just want to answer the question and move on to the next topic. That's basically how I work. I don't need to leave cliffhangers or leave you hanging with information that's missing.
UJ. Ooh, UJ dropped. Yeah, I suppose he might make a support to go up. Man, you know what I was looking at here on GJ 4 hour? What I was thinking was that if this 4 hour closes the way it is closing, and if the next one breaks below 130, let's say 300, then we could continue down to fill this wick at 130, 150.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. That's a great idea. That way I wouldn't have to wait to break below 130, 230. So maybe put it, let's see what this area is on the smaller time frame. Yeah, it could work below that area. Let's see what happens.
This is what I was looking at the 4 hour, potentially looking at that as a flip before it changes, and then it looks like a very big rejection then. And that's what I was saying about the times, because that'll kind of coincide with the time it dropped heavy yesterday and the day before. Maybe. Mate.
Maybe, mate.
It's got a long way
It
to
is
go,
what
yeah.
it is.
Yeah, exactly that.
Wow, looks like the highlight of the day is going to be US 30.
Yeah.
The candles
I
just
wish
kept
I could play with them on money.
Trust me, US 30 is going to be many highlights for many days because of the way it moves.
Yeah.
candles kept making lower highs and lower lows and just kept on dropping.
Yep, and there's been more announcements
It's
in
good.
the, I guess, on the markets. Basically, they're looking to extend more losses in the market.
So if they increase the lockdown as well, that's going to affect the economy,
Yes.
and that in turn is going to affect US 30.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
That's why we're tanking as we're doing it right now.
Interesting.
So when you're trading this, any negative news related to the economy and sort of the markets will tank US 30. But if Trump comes in and says something, it flashes up. So just be aware. So that's why we're, like Kerwin and I were saying, always keep, you always have a stop in place, because it could rifle up and destroy your account, or vice versa, depending on which direction you're in.
Ooh, Mr. JJ. March 24 candle should be mirrored. I agree with that once it starts falling down. I totally agree with that. I also think it should come down to 129, 129, 950-ish, that area.
Dow Jones is taking souls right now.
Yeah, that was a pretty good. Breakdown.
Yeah, I agree.
Please never stop these live streams. Okay, perfect.
There's your next target hit.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's,
Nice to see.
Yeah, so if you look at US 30 again, just because it's a popular topic these days, this was your first 15-minute candle of the hour. This was our zone. Now you see what we talk about a lot of times is once the candle leaves this zone, you see how clean the move is. So basically once this created the wick to the upside, you could have entered here and you had no drawdown at that point. The other thing is too, you've left this zone and you're essentially going right back into this zone. So once you tap into here, you can close that trade and you've basically had, I don't know, like 60 pip risk with no drawdown, or sorry, 60 pip reward with no drawdown at that point. So it's just something to keep in mind if you're trading. This is a perfect example of how you should actually execute all your trades. Is anytime you've mapped out a zone, you want the trade to leave that zone to go right into the next zone, but you don't want to enter over here because it pulls you out of that zone, because effectively your stop loss should be above this level here when you enter over here. But you know, once you become a little bit more confident in your entries, you know you can probably place your stop over here knowing very well that you're not coming back up here anymore.
Oh, interesting. So on Zoom, the volume of the music goes off when someone speaks.
Yeah, so it kind of turns down. When someone talks, it turns down.
Interesting.
Well, it doesn't do it with you, though, it seems.
leave the music on. That's why I watch Monty on YouTube.
For the music, yeah, I know. For the silent time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it turns down when rakeel talks, I know.
Oh. Well, I guess I'm not important enough. I have a question. If you identify the fake out on GPNZD, why don't you trade it? Because I don't trade GBPNZD. Let's take a look over here. GBPNZD.
No music, please. I agree. Turn the crap off.
I said that last time and I got moaned at.
All right.
I like it.
It's like,
Turn it off.
I pay to be in the Zoom chat.
That's why I miss Mixer a lot.
Fake out here? No, I don't know. It's pretty dirty because this candle went down to close above the area, no confirmation. This candle's still forming. There's no confirmation. There's no confirmation for sells because candle's still open. There's no confirmation for buys because candle is bearish, so there's no trade. There's news also coming in. Unemployment claims.
Oh, wow.
So they're expecting 2.5 million from 3.1 million. Should be interesting.
And let's see what happened on Dow Jones at 23 flat. 23,000. The news or something's gonna happen.
How is it possible having 500 or more students without even showing a withdrawal? Well, that's something I think your analysis is pretty bad over there. I show everything.
Yeah, and I have more than 500 students.
I like this song. What's the name? Oh, I'm not sure. How do you improve the psychology or mindset to trade? Well, you just need to wait and be patient. Just like I'm being patient, I'm waiting. I'm waiting for price to come below here. Let's remove this. Yeah, come down over here.
Raja, will you continue exposing traders that seem to be untouchable?
I read that one.
Welcome to the rabbit hole.
Raja's Judge Judy on Instagram.
Yeah.
Trust me.
So, I'm just going to talk a little bit about what you're doing. In all fairness, if I was a top educator, I would be coming on this stream just to get notoriety. In all honesty, if I was marketing something that I was trying to sell, I would come on this stream and use it because of the fact that I get 2,000 viewers live. I could promote myself on this stream, and I would probably have free reign to talk about what I do, and I would have an extra 2,000 eyes multiplied by word of mouth helping me out. But the funny thing is, most marketers have big egos, so they won't ever do that. So they miss a whole marketplace, and they don't want to get exposed.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, that's what I was thinking yesterday. That this is a perfect platform to promote your stuff, or maybe also just like come and show off, so guys can say, "Oh, who was that guy?"
Yeah.
Oh, see, so now this is like a perfect fake out here in GBP and ZD, where this candle closed below resistance. You have resistance forming here, and now you'd expect this current candle to respect the previous candle's high and then continue moving down. What's the result over here? Which one is good to trade, gold or silver? Well, I don't trade both, so... Oh, it was bad, 2.9 million. Manufacturing was also bad. Well, of course, because people aren't working. Import prices went up. That makes sense too. Because it costs more to bring stuff in now. Have you heard of SRFX? I don't think I have. How do you set parameters for support resistance? Well, you look for where price bounces and you put your, there's your resistance over here because price was, turning from here, and then your support is down here because price is turning from here. And if price breaks below 132.30, there's a very high chance price is going to continue moving down, and that will be a trade I'll be looking for. If that happens in the next hour, basically. Wow, US 30 is still dropping.
Yeah.
Damn. It's crazy.
Bye-bye, US 30.
Oh, it said 23, right?
Yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah.
Good morning. Besides the fact that this signal I just called is already immediately the problem with 40 pips, let's go to why I'm making this video. This is actually very impressive. My boy over here actually took $25 to 427. Amazing, and he actually withdrew $100 to show was real. Now that's very, very impressive. So anyways, hopefully we can melt right here. We are freaking 3 back-to-back trades winning trades right now. So hopefully this can be number 4. This will be a big one. This trade right here is actually, hopefully that 3 times my risk on this one, so that's pretty good. Anyways, man, I hope everybody has a good morning. Don't get on the charts. Don't trade, man. All my losses have been because I've been woken up in a bad mood for most of them.
Ollie.
Just got on. Did y'all catch pips? Yeah, some people caught US 30 sells here. Man, that was a great move. Wow, look at that. Kept dumping.
Yeah, and once again, if you're looking at that, here's the same thing we talked about earlier, that massive rejection. Same thing we saw, massive rejection. It has to go somewhere, right? So there you go. So you had a nice, easy trade again with US 30, and it's just going to keep moving.
Easy free signals.
Yeah. Well, we said 22,900 was probably a good target. As the day progresses, now that we're breaking down the daily, I wouldn't be surprised if we get to 22,600. Around 22,700, I think is a very reasonable target now. So if you're watching this, and if you've got in a US 30 trade, I think 22,700 is a very reasonable target at this point.
Excuse me.
So if you're,
I mean, the 1 hour candles look scary to the downside.
yeah, 100%, that candle's just absolutely nasty right now.
Yeah. So right now the 22,945, 47, and looks like it's gonna get broken.
Ooh, someone made $200
Nice.
on
And
US 30.
from there is a clear traffic to
Yeah.
22,400.
I mean, this is where trading becomes very easy because we have a lot of confluences that are just driving this pair, right? So we have negative news from the US economy, we have jittery emotions in the stock market, and we already have a bearish trend with this indice. So you have a lot of confluence now to just execute. The question now becomes, well, Ted, where do I find entries? How do I do this? Okay, well, you need to be able to tell a story. So if you notice, I've been calling out higher level time frame targets. Those targets to me are potential trouble spots that I notice on my charts just based on my history, based on my experience. So those are targets that on the higher time frames make sense. So I have to go into the lower time frames to then see where I can enter those targets or enter for those targets. So like I said, I'm watching the 15-minute or 30-minute, and I'm watching to see in those time frames where there's potential trouble spots as well, so that I don't take an entry and get whipsawed out. So as an example, we talked earlier about saying this area could be a potential issue in this area. So really, I'm not trying to take an entry in this spot here. I see a rejection over here, which allows me to start to take a trade, but I have to be cautious when I'm in this area. The trade that I'm looking to take is over here to come back into this zone. And then when I see this now, this candle here, if we push through that zone, I know now that we're going to this level over here, right? So your best entry would have been probably right over here to this entry over here. Now, this whipsaw here, as long as we don't come back into this zone here, should then continue to go down. So now, anticipating the next candle movements, there's potentially probably a whipsaw up here to continue moving down again. So that's what you're doing. You're watching your 15-minute and your 30-minute time frame. If you're a real cowboy, or you're pretty good at price action and trading, you could probably move into the 5-minute time frame and grab a 5-minute entry over here right at the top of this wick, knowing that, hey, there's a 5-minute candle goes up, and then the next 5-minute candle rejects and starts to move down, and you know that that's the top of the 15-minute wick, and you know that we're going to start moving, you'll probably get your best entry with no drawdown at that point. So there's multiple ways to attack the pair, especially when you have strong momentum like this. And when you look at what you're doing, it's your comfort level, right? So for me, I could trade off probably the 5-minute, 15-minute, or 30-minute. I'm comfortable with that because I know that my stop losses are going to be above here or maybe above here, depending on what I'm trying to do. But then maybe someone who's brand new doesn't like a 5-minute chart because they don't understand price action up, because your 5-minute chart looks like this. These would be 5-minute candles, and you'd be like, well, I don't know what I'm doing. Meanwhile, I know, hey, once we get over here, because we haven't passed this wick over here, we're probably going down. And I don't really care about a 5-minute candle structure. I'm not necessarily looking for a rejection. I'm just looking for bearish movement, because technically the rejection is on the higher time frame. This wick here comes on the 30-minute or 15-minute. It doesn't show up on a 5-minute candle. So I'm not paying too much attention to the fact that these candles went up here and now all of a sudden we're going bullish. That's bullshit. That doesn't make any sense when we have bearish momentum, right? This is actually better because I get a better entry to go further down at that point.
GJ dropping, yeah, GJ and GP and ZD. GP and ZD, it was a much better drop because after that fake out to the upside. GJ is also dropping, which is good. I think I'm going to sell below 130 230. I think it's going to be a very, very good sell. How do you add your logo onto the trading view? You need to be a trading view stockholder. Once you do that, you will get confirmations and then they will add it for you. GJ 30-minute sell.
I come to a live trading education component, and my question is, how do I get a logo on TradingView? That's the best question I had of all of my thought processes about trading, is how do I get a logo there? Oh boy. Yeah, well, lots of successful people here today.
How many accounts have you blown? Man, every time people ask, how much have you lost? How much have you blown? So, before I got profitable, I lost around $130,000. So, whoever's asking those questions, can you afford that?
You're gonna kill your stream. There'll be 6 people left.
Yeah. Can you afford to do that? Probably not. Yeah, I had a lot of savings and then lost them. Thank you for assisting me, much appreciated. Oh, thank you. 1 hour made sense. Yeah, some people took sells on GJ. It was a pretty good idea, you know. Some people took sells to execute it. That's good. I'm waiting for price to come down to 130, 230 to take sells. GP and ZD seems like it's running well over here after that fake out and retest. I'm sure someone is in these cells as well. If you're in a 50 pip range, do you think it's risky to trade? No, if you're in a 50 pip range, I think you can get 20, 25 pips easy. It's just the overthinking that's not gonna let you execute. You know, it will be a shame to miss all this on GJ.
Ooh,
Yeah, I think it's gonna continue dropping.
yeah.
Yeah, from here it's gonna continue down to 132.30, and then it's gonna continue down. I think this 4 hour wick is gonna get filled. That's what I'm aiming and hoping for. How much time are you daily trading? Around, I'd say 3 hours max. Yeah, 3 hours max. Max 3 hours. Nothing more than that. My chart time is 3 hours every day. 3 hours. That's it. That's my chart time. And then a lot of my time goes into interacting with the members we have and interacting with family and doing other stuff. Of course, Magic Keys also takes a fair bit of my time. Yeah, it should continue moving bearish. GJ.
US 30 just broke 800s now.
I executed around 133.44. Um, how are you taking it at 230? Oh yeah. Oof. Came down, straight down.
Yep.
Wow. You know, when people trade US 30, if they would break it down like you broke it down like this, I think a lot of people would find a lot of value from that.
It's basically, I mean, you're putting ideas together, and you can get nice simple trades out of it. The problem is people are going to go gangbusters now on this, and they're not going to be able to control themselves. I closed my position back at 23,129, and we're at 22,900, right? And I had a position at 23,200 or 218, and I could have easily grabbed another basically 300 pips. It would have been a massive move, but you take what you're comfortable with. But if people took the trade at 8 a.m., they would have made money. They took the trade at 8:30, they would have made money. It's just a matter of understanding where your entry points are. You can look on the 5-minute chart, and I can show you a multitude of entries, because of the fact that if you understand where we're moving and why we're moving, you'll find that there's obvious signs to enter. I mean, there was a huge 5-minute candle right at 8:30 that would have really helped you, because it pulled all the way back up to 2300, or 23,050. You could have easily taken an entry as soon as that candle flipped and broke below 23,000. You could have easily taken an entry, and then you would have had no drawdown again, and you would have been up about 70 or 80 pips at this point.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I was muted. Yeah, better buy would be above this area, 1719. Let's take a look here. This is, ooh, nice. Nice buys. Very nice. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. It's a great time to have a strong US dollar. Are you waiting for GJ to break? Yeah, I mean, I had a sell, got stopped out at break even, and now basically just waiting now. It's a waiting game. Oh my God, gold is going to go nuts. Yeah, we'll see. Well, since the news was bad over here, it does seem like gold will continue moving up with that bad news. I think um, it just needed some time for the news to sink in. Let's continue breaking 1720 and continue going bullish.
Spread is nasty.
The spread is really nasty. That's true. Did you close half of your position that you took? No, everything. I mean, it stopped me out of break even. When is the deadline to sign up for orientation? Saturday. Saturday morning is the deadline because I have to set things up. I want to trade Forex, but it's illegal here in India. Well, then you can't trade Forex. I mean, if it's illegal to run a red light, then you don't run a red light. So if it's illegal to trade Forex in India, then you can't trade Forex in India. Where are you located? I'm located in Canada. Spread is only 5 pips. I'm looking at 15 min to take entry. Yeah, looks good. I mean, now, it just makes sense for it to break below here and then continue down. So we'll see what happens. Oh, I thought that Modi made it illegal in India.
Yeah,
Forex.
me too.
Yeah, I thought Modi made it illegal.
I think I saw it somewhere.
Yeah. Oh, we got someone from Sweden. Nice. We got people from all over the place here. Yeah, see someone saying Modi made it illegal, someone saying it's legal. So there's a big confusion there with the Indians over there. Some say it's legal, some saying it's illegal. I don't know what's going on.
Oh god.
I don't know. That's just funny.
Oh, Argentina, Tennessee. Oh,
Saludos, Argentina.
someone's from Antarctica.
Wow.
Very nice.
Amsterdam, damn. Mississauga. Oh, me too.
Uh,
Ooh, Venezuela. Wow. Iran. Oh, chat is going
Venezuela.
nuts.
Saludos a toda Latinoamérica.
Hey, no comprende español.
You comprende español.
Spain, Lord, Toronto, Zimbabwe. Wow.
Dumps.
Italy. Dumps.
Hard to see.
We got Oscar the Grouch on the stream.
Yeah.
So hard to read.
Portugal.
Ooh,
Obrigado.
Portugal, Florida, Italia.
Mars.
Mars.
Wow,
Damn,
Portugal.
Oh,
Jamaica.
Wakanda. Cool.
Ooh, go Wakanda. Nice. Singapore.
Patrick Austin.
Oh,
Jupiter, Florida?
someone from Buzu. You guys know where Buzu is?
No idea.
Man, you guys didn't get educated enough then.
Go on.
Come.
Morocco. Someone's from the Gulag. Yeah.
Did you notice on TikTok how many Call of Duty videos there are now?
Yeah.
Oh man, there's some of them are really good. I've made it my mission now every time I grab a car to go run people over.
It's the easiest way.
But you know what? Then what happens is they blow the car up and you get blown up too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that happened to me once, and then I was like, okay, it's never gonna happen to me now. So you know what I do? Like, you know those landmines you get?
Yeah.
You get those landmines whenever you
I'll
see a
put it
car
behind you.
coming
Yeah.
towards you, just throw the landmine.
Well,
And
what I normally do is I basically ghost ride the car. So what I'll do is I'll drive it and then I'll eject and let the car run them over and then
Oh,
so
that's,
landmine there.
that's like a
So
film.
it just goes off, like the car just keeps going down the road or whatever.
Genius.
Yeah.
damn, getting game
Wow.
smart.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty good now. I got my strategy down to an art. And my gun is actually good now because I've upgraded it enough so that it actually does stuff.
That makes a big difference. If you
It
because
does.
you
It
started
makes a
from nothing, didn't you?
huge difference, especially when you first start out. You need something
Yeah.
strong.
Yep. No, as well, getting used to the maps and stuff as well.
Yeah.
That's a big difference.
Roger, check Just Level
What?
on YouTube. Just Level.
Ooh, what's that?
Look for it. He said escape, but no one. I do this bad.
I have no idea what's going on.
Me neither.
Just Level says I'm gay. No one will know. Shut us to the fast.
Oh,
yeah.
just level. What's the person's
I
name?
got you.
Chat is too fast. No one will know. Yeah, so I think the trade of the day was US 30. Everything just ranged.
Yeah. I mean, you got the GJ buy, you know.
Yeah, it wasn't really something that we like, oh wow, look, you know. They're like, okay. Wanted more. Wanted to go
Yeah.
to 138.50.
Very, very similar to London. Just kind of sitting around and waiting. A bit choppy.
So this is GJ 15-minute chart. Support held previously. New low created. 3 looking for resistance to hold here with a bearish candle printing. First TP down at 132.30. Makes sense, makes sense. I think you're getting it right now. So you've drawn a minor zone within this big ass range for price to continue moving bearish. So it looks good.
That 4 hour candle looks good now. even close bearish, right?
Yeah. Yes.
So if you're watching US 30, this 15-minute candle, this usually happens at just before 9 o'clock. So this candle here more than likely will be a booby trap candle. You'll see the next 15-minute candle will probably go up and then it'll just drop after that, and that'll match up with the opening of the stock market. So think about this movement back up here as a pullback for the New York Stock Exchange to open at 9:30. So this is in the next half hour, you could see US 30 go all the way back up here, only to drop even further at this point. And this is how you're going to get caught in this mess, because you're thinking that because the market is down, you're going to sell. The market is going to keep pushing and driving up until it reaches a point that it wants to sell. So you have to be very cautious with this point right now. So that's why this is where US 30 gets dangerous, and this is where people don't talk about that. Is a lot of these pullbacks here will be very, very heavy because they want better prices for the New York Stock Exchange open. So just be very cautious around that. And it doesn't mean that you should be taking buys at this point either. I would not be taking buys because of this rejection with the market the way it is. This is more of just an exhaustion. At this point, what I'd be doing is I'd be either looking to take sells below this area here, or as this candle matures, I'd probably be looking to take sells below this area here with stop losses probably above here, or wherever this candle or the next candle create a wick at that point.
Alright, let's take a look at this chart. Support resistance sell below this area looks good. Wow, my mic is really clear. What's this? Do you think GJ will continue down as the 4 hours closing? Yeah, I think so. I think so. I think we did a retest right over here for price to continue moving down. So I think it should kind of like it should do a hippity scotch over here and then break below 132.30. Breaking below 132.30 would be a much better. Wow, 4 hour close like a doji candle. 30-minute also broke below here. Higher chance to continue down to fill the wick. So let's see what happens. I'm gonna wait a little bit more. What's this? Euro USD 30-minute buys on this rejection at support. Yeah, I think a better would be once price comes up over here, this area here, this resistance, because then you'll have a clean candle here going up. Hey Raja, long time no see. Was just studying these days, but today I took a EU short when price failed to retest support. Is this a even greater confirmation or no? Let's take a look here. Failed to even retest support. Entered on the pullback once 15-minute broke support. Yeah, I think it's good. It's very good. Very good trade. You look left, you're like, okay, next support is down over here, so there's a high chance for price to continue down, and you execute it. Would you have sell stops, and also in the webinars, are you going to have guest speakers Sunday? I don't know. I don't know. Ted, you want to be a guest speaker?
Sure.
Sure,
Come on.
perfect. There we go. Yeah, I think this should continue moving bearish. Will volume come down to 132.30 and then break below and continue down to 130, 100. 20 pip drop. Could anticipate a 20 pip drop. No problem. Have a little bit of a wider stop loss. Could be a, I mean, could be a great trade. Could never see it coming. That's the thing. You never see it coming. How much pips is your average winning trade and losing trade? Average winning trade is around, like, I'd say 10, 12 pips. Losing trade is less. I closed early. I got stopped out on GJ sells here before at like 2 pips negative, 3 pips negative. How do you sign up for the webinar? Well, Mr. Tahir, you don't sign up for the webinar. The webinar signs you up. When people ask me how do we join market fluidity, I just tell them, listen, when you're ready, you will know. But if you don't know how, that means you're not ready. Please stay live till NYSE open. Okay, perfect. Let's do that. We're going to stay live till NYSE open. Yeah, I think GG is going to continue down. Bearish, mate. Let's see here. See, if we consider this 4-hour as a time-wasting candle, if this 4-hour is considered a time-wasting candle, something like this, and then we just anticipate the next one to continue moving down, I think that'll be a pretty good idea. But for it to move down like that, we need price on the smaller time frames to respect a level, and that level it needs to respect is going to be right here, 134.30, you know. And if price is closing, if 15-minute candle is closing right now in, like, 7 minutes, is closing bearish, the next one should not break the high of the previous 15-minute candle and then continue moving down to 132.30 and then ultimately break below and come down to 130, 100. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good guesstimation, but it needs to close bearish. Hi, Wicks Don't Lie. What do you think of this gold short? Well, if you send a chart, we'll do it. Raja, you sound like a person that reads Deepak Chopra's book. I've heard the name, but I don't know who that is. Deepak Chopra. All right. So you saying I have an accent? What do I think about this chart? I think it looks good. You have a Fibonacci drawn, you have a vertical rectangle drawn, a red trend line drawn, and you got 2 horizontal rectangles drawn there, so it looks good. What do you think? Why do people ask me what do I think about other people? What do you think about other people? What do you think about other people? Simple break and retest hourly is bearish all the way. Yeah, so you need this 15-minute to close bearish before typing simple, because the candle is still open. What do you think about Lambo Raul? Oh, I've met him. I've met Daniel. We had when I did the boot camp in Miami, both of them came over there. They talked, like we socialized and stuff. I sat in his Lamborghini. It was small. My legs wouldn't fit in it. And yeah, we had a chicken papayas. Is that what it's called? This this Mexican food, papayas. I don't know. Yeah, something like that. Chicken papayas. Um, Pupusas. Yeah, pupusas. Raja, what was the time when you blowed your account, blowed your account and you were so broke that you was not gonna? I felt this earlier. Yeah, that happened. Yeah, that was a pretty bad time. That was a pretty bad time. I remember. Yeah, it was a pretty bad time. We had to sell some jewelry to pay rent. I'm not even joking. This happened. Like it as like like cheesy as it sounds, but at that point I was like, okay, I'm not gonna go down that path again. I remember when the president talked about the price of oil. He said a long time the price of oil too high and oil drop a lot. Yeah. We also heard about Elon Musk talking about his Tesla stock. The price is too damn high. Price fell. What percentage do you risk per trade? I mostly focus on dollar risk per trade. I've moved away from percentage risk per trade because when you're starting as a new trader, you're obviously looking at the percentage gains, but because when you start looking at the percentages, now you start to look at that, okay, if I have a $5,000 account, how much percentage do I want to look at, and percentage gains is going to keep you consistent. But when you really start getting consistent, then you start looking at um, dollar gains. Like now I look at how much I can risk per day. So my risk per day, I think since March, well, in January my risk per day was like $150, $200. February was the same. March I had an amazing month. Amazing. I think a lot of people had one of their best months in March. Um, March was amazing. So I withdrew a bunch of money, and then with that, now I had some financial backing, and then I said, okay, it's maybe time to maybe step up a little bit. So I increased my dollar risk. So from 200, I went up to 800 a day. So now I'm risking around 800, 700 a day, 800 a day. So it was a gradual process. So I think like you come to a point where you're like, okay, now I just let's see how much I can push myself. So March made my account into six figures. Oh, nice. What make you two have hope and continue with FX after blowing accounts? Because the only thing that gave me hope was that my only losses were because of um, because of overtrading and over risking. That's it. And I knew that if I don't overtrade and if I don't over risk, I'm a profitable trader. That's it. That's basically it. Because let's say if you're disciplined for the first 2, 3 days, and then on the fourth day, let's say on a Thursday, there's news. You try to trade news, or you try to copy some trade from the live stream, and you go a little bit extra risk on that trade from the live stream because you're like, oh hey, Raja's taking this trade, and I'm going to take the same trade, and he never loses, and I'm going to take the trade, and you took the trade with like a higher risk, and you lost the trade. Now you've wiped out all your gains from the week. This has happened to people, I know you guys are listening and this has happened to you, and you're like, yeah man, shit, yeah, so that wasn't the market, that was so the sooner you realize the problems you have, the better it's going to be, because then you're going to start to like like really get better at it. And I mean, that's what happened to me, like I was like, okay, well, I'm losing, then why am I losing? Over trading and over risking. That's it. There's no other reason I should be losing trades if I don't over trade or if I don't over risk. And it's just a matter of time. If you go through my Instagram stories, my Instagram posts, if you go back to last year, April, you'll see I was doing 1.5 lots, 1.5, 1 lots, 2 lots, and then from there to today, I'm doing like 10. I dropped 15 today. Hey, take care, Chris. Chris Monty's calling it a day.
Yeah. Be safe, Monte.
What lot size do you recommend for a $1,000 account? I think 0.1, 10 cents. 10 cents should be good. How long did it take for you to lose the 130? Yeah, it was 6-7 months, and then I made money, and then I lost it again in crypto. You should make a post on IG about your trading journey and stuff you've gone through to be here. Wow, man, I think people are living under rocks. Hold on, I'll show you. So, Talking Options. Welcome to Talking Options, where we give you options to have more options in the trading community. Talking Options. So you see here, this is like the prog. Oh, yeah, continue as Vix don't lie. That's me. That's me. So this is all through March. Yeah, March was a pretty good month. Okay, so right, back to business. Not now. So we go to my profile. Yeah. Um, yeah, this is my story right here. Oh wow, 4,000 likes. I didn't even know this. Yeah, so everything that led for me to come to trading. So yeah, this was back in 2015. Yeah, this was back in 2015. I was making $4,900 a week doing sales. These were monthly checks here. $9,000 and then $6,200. This was in February 2016. This was January 2016. I started trading in April. Well, my first account was $200 in April. I lost that obviously, and then I really started in June when I signed up with Ted, and then $3,000. So I was making money before I started to trade. So like I had money. It's not like trading has brought me money. Like I know how to handle money. So yeah. So this is our first office, my sales office I got here. It's gonna move away. Yeah. And then this is my So everything is there. Everything is there. Ontario Standard. Yeah. Yeah, you know that Kofi. Ontario Standard Home Services. How do we sign up with Ted? Signing up with Ted's like a unicorn. You can't catch him. That's the thing. He does surprise webinars. No one knows about them.
Pay attention, ladies. It's a unicorn.
Yeah, he's a unicorn. He's really hard. He's really hard to get a hold of.
Can't sign up with me. I don't exist.
That's good.
What's a good lot size to use consistently on a 10,000? I think one lot is good enough. Raja, you should make a challenge account for your Instagram or YouTube where you turn 100 to 1,000 or something. This will generate so much traffic to your social media. Well, Joe, you need to understand, if I make an account to run 100 to $1,000, it might take me 2 weeks, right? 2 weeks, 3 weeks to make, what, $1,000? But if I spend the same on my regular account, I can make much, much, much more in 2 weeks, 3 weeks. So now you have to look at it from my perspective. Do I want to make $1,000 in 3 weeks, or do I want to make much, much more than that in 3 weeks? Obviously, I have goals and I want to make much, much more than that in 3 weeks. You'll be doing both. No, trust me. Trading 2 accounts, it's impossible. Can't do both. I just focus on what I do and I just focus on that, and that helps me.
My question to that is, even if you did it, what what would that do for somebody else? It doesn't help them because what does it say that you could do it? It still doesn't change the fact that they can't trade. That's what people don't understand. Like doing those challenge accounts, it doesn't help you because you're not the one doing it.
That would bring traffic. I'm not interested in traffic. If I wanted traffic on my account, I would, like post about money and post about my watches and post about the things I do and things like that. I just I don't need that. Like my whole Instagram account is built on value. Look at this. You can come to my page and well, some motivation there here and there, but you can come to my page and you literally learn stuff. Like this is filled with value. Videos with value. This is all information. All information. So much information here. Go all the way down to 2016. Yeah, look at this. 2018 and then 2019. Yeah, 2019 had a very bad. This is where I just dropped I just got killed financially in 2019. Now we're back. So, oh, this was the first prototype for Magic Keys. Only 3 of these exist. One's with this guy and one's with Ted and one's with me.
Yeah, I got one.
3 of 3. Man,
You should ask to the Chinese people if they can build, any red product, like instead of black or white, red.
yeah, they said it's gonna be a premium price for the red products.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll have to see. I'll check. Yeah, see so much value over here.
Look at Trump.
Yeah, I got Trump there
Oh,
too.
man.
Trump's Twitter. Boom! This is when Trump's Twitter was the indicator.
That's hilarious.
Trump's tweets were moving the markets. Yeah, man. Like, I mean, this page is like wealth of information. So much information here. When's this? 49 weeks ago. Almost 49 weeks. Almost like a year ago. See, one lot. What's this? Yeah, 2.5, 2.5. Yeah, it just takes time. This morning I dropped 15 lot. After a year. My biggest problem is closing trades. Gold shot up 10 pips shy of my TP and I didn't close. Now it's back to my entry. Any tips on this? Yes, just close. I mean, just close or put stops at break even. The worst you can do to yourself is letting a position come down. Let's say, or someone said buy Magic Keys, buy Magic Keys. The worst you can do is, okay, think about this, right? Just think about this. You are a bank robber. Now, this is a very bad example, but I'm not saying you're a bank robber, even if you are somewhere in that. But like, let's say you go to the bank. You're like, okay, from 10 a.m. till 10 a.m. there's no one looking at the safe, right? And you're gonna go in there and you're gonna grab cash, and then you're gonna get out and you're gonna go home, right? So you go in there, you grab cash, and then you just wait. You wait till 10:10. 10:10 hits, you're like, okay, maybe the guy's going to be 1 minute late and I'm going to go in there and grab more cash. And then what happens is you get caught. You get caught and the cash you grabbed, they take that cash away and then they take the cash you had in your pocket away. Now, you've not only lost the cash you grabbed, but you've also lost the cash you had in your pocket. And now you're like, man, I'm a dumbass. Why didn't I leave? So it's the same thing here. When you're in profits in a trade and you're up like, 10 pips, 15 pips, you should be securing profits there. You should be securing price. If you think price is going to continue moving, put a runner, put stops at break even and let it run. The worst you can do is that for a market to not only take away the profits you would have secured, but also hit you at stop loss. You know, that doesn't make any sense. What would be the biggest mistake? Yeah, the same mistake I explained here. That was the biggest mistake. I would just keep on holding. What's this? Ooh, Charlene won a trade on EU. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Where's EU? I don't even have EU here, but very nice. GJ, 30 minute broke out of support. Now 15 minutes starts from resistance. Yeah, it looks good. I'm actually looking at the same thing. If it starts forming resistance here, then it should continue moving down. If you pull winners early, you'll mess up your long-term probability though. That's something you have to test yourself, Andrew. My long-term profitability is fine. Took a GJSL at 13300. What should be the stop loss? Okay, so you took a sell at 13300 and now you are in a 18 pip drawdown. 18 pip drawdown and you don't know where your stop is. I think when you took this sell at 13300, you should have known where your stop is going to be. I'm sorry, I think that's a bad trade. You're in a very, very bad trade. That's an extremely bad trade. I would not want to be in that trade. No, sir. No, no, no. Raja, take a look, please, sir, please. Okay, let's take a look here. Wrong chart. Well done. How to get in your Zoom? You can't. Getting in the Zoom chat is like getting a table at a very high-end club. Gold, engulfing candle prior to form candle, candle with long wick to the bottom, close bearish, candle going down. Yeah, I think gold is ranging here. Look at this, gold is so messy. So messy. All right, someone else sent a chart here. We have NYC opening in 3 minutes. Ooh, wrong chart. Raja and Ted, can you please look at US 30 at 9:30? Yes, we shall look at US 30 at 9:30. Yeah. What do you think about playing range in gold? Don't play range in gold. Don't play range ever. Never, ever. You want to get better? Don't trade the range. I'm a noob here. What's the orientation for? That's, if you know, you know. Okay, here's the correct chart. Let's take a look. All right, broke previous structure low, anticipating retracement or for continuation down. Okay, perfect. Yeah, you're looking for sells here. That's good. Raja, I am close to blowing my account. What should I do? I think you should close the trade so you don't blow your account. And you should see, and maybe, you know, just understand that there's no point in holding trades without a stop loss, or there's no point in over trading and over risking. In your opinion, what will be the right process to start trading? I think the right process to start trading would be to pick one pair and to watch that pair. Just like I've been watching US 30 here for a month now. Every morning I've been watching US 30 and I've just been watching how it moves. And this morning these guys played a really nice move on US 30. So soon I'm going to start trading US 30. So that's how you should start. Thanks for the live stream, infotainment. Hope your service prospered. Thank you, thank you. Raja, what's your IG, please? Oh, interesting. Pretty interesting. People don't know that. See, people don't know stuff. That's normal. Don't lie. That's my IG right there. if I go to an exchange and trade $1 for 106, then tomorrow comes 53 yen to $1 and you have $2, $1 profit. What is happening when I click sell UJ? I don't know. It's totally different. Trading in exchanges and trading here are two different things. Like what is going on through his head? I just asked him if I'm close to blowing my account. Do I close? Like, come on, man. Yeah, that's what. Oh, someone sent a chart. Let's take a look here. Someone told me yesterday that, man, you have big balls to go against the system. Yeah. If I had influence, I would have gone against the governments too. F this range, I'm going to play golf. Perfect. You're lucky you can play golf. You have the patience of a monk. After all the statements, you still in Zen state. Yes. Thanks for the live stream. Thank you, thank you. Can you play some? I don't know what that is. It's okay to trade US 500 based on what Uncle Ted educated us. Yes. Well, it depends. Oh, NYC opened and we moved bullish. See now, this is where US 30 made a low. You know, like people ask, okay, how do you know a low is formed? This is where a low is formed. And then price might continue up, create resistance, and then it's going to come down to retest the low.
Watch for 23 or 10.
Yeah.
But 23.10, that's a small support that we broke that support. So we may retest that support. And price should stay below the 23,100.
Yeah. Okay, what's this? This is AUD USD downtrend, broke structure, close half, enter on retest. Yeah, waiting for the bearish candle there. How to spot yesterday's sells on GJ? Could you recap quick? Let's take a look here. I think it was, yeah, somewhere here when this low started to break. When this low started to break, the target was 131 basically, and eroded down to 131, 100. Candle left wicks here, and then momentum was there. This was support, and you anticipated support to break with the London close volume. And like, if you really understand market volumes, it's going to get really easy for you. Have you ever used MACD indicator? If so, why have you stopped using it? Because it's an indicator. How to spot? I've made over 10% of my account playing the range on gold over the last 2 days. I'm going to stop because it's going to bite me in the ass. I can feel it. Yes. What's your opinion on plus 500? I don't know what that is. What do you think about indexes? No idea. And these questions I'm giving because they're truth. I honestly don't know. I know all about GPJPY. I mean, you can ask me anything about GPJPY. I know all of that. Withdrawals in USD versus CAD. Well, one is more, one is less, but proportionally they're the same. Do you recommend any videos based on price action candles? Okay, let's do this here. This was the last question I answered, and I'm going to show you what videos are going to be good if YouTube loads here. Oh, 40.5 thousand subscribers. Started with 10,000 around last August. Gained 30,000 subscribers. Very nice, very nice. So, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to create a playlist on YouTube. So yeah, this is a pretty good webinar. What's this? Yeah, I think it's a good webinar, this one. Oh,
Why? Why would this?
yeah, that's a good webinar we did. That one was a good one. And if you scroll all the way down, yeah, a lot of live sessions here. GJ risky sell idea. Don't take it. Yeah, it's way too far away. I mean, all the videos are pretty good if you go all the way down. So for sells, I think sells are going to be good below this area here, 134.30 for it to continue down. Buys above 136.20. Wow, US 30 just tapped that area and came back.
Yeah. That's why Ted was telling you to always pay attention to the levels, respect the levels.
Yeah. Pretty dead day today here for the pairs I trade.
Yeah.
Gold is flying, yes. That's what we anticipated, gold to continue going up. Yeah, if this 15-minute breaks the low over here, I think by a London close, it should break below 132.30 and then continue moving down to 130, 100. It's going to be
Yeah. To be honest, Raja, I'm expecting, around 10:30, 11, we're gonna have a decent move. Because this whole consolidation, man, it's a mess. Trying to trade inside that range is a mess.
Yeah. See, now would be a great idea. It's broken the low there. It's going to close in 8 minutes, and then you could expect the volume with the NYC and London close to continue pushing it bearish. So if someone's looking for a last hit on GJ, I think this will be a great hit on GJ. You have a 10 pip stop, you have a 13 pip gain down to this low. If there's volume till London close, it's going to continue down to 132.30 and then eventually continue to 130, 100. So that could be a nice idea. All right, I'm going to head off. Take care, everybody.
Okay, Raja. Take care, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Take care. Bye bye.
Okay, bye-bye.